All right. Well, it is 9:05, so we will get started. Um, yeah, we'll get started here. So, hey everyone, I'm Cody. I'm the CEO here at Vertical IT Solutions. Um, Vertical IT Solutions is a managed IT company who also does cloud services and voice over IP services. We've been a company since about 2014. Um, so we kind of do everything IT. We're here today to talk to you about um, MIP and hosting MIP in our cloud environment. But let me just tell you a little bit more about us. So, right, you've probably come in contact with a bunch of IT companies or cloud companies, right? So, what makes us different? Well, we're not your typical IT people. I know a lot of times with IT people, they can kind of make you feel less than. They make you feel like they're like you're not smart or something like that because they think they know more than you. But that's not true, right? You guys are the professionals in your areas, and the IT person is the professional in their area. So here at Vertical IT Solutions, we're friendly and accessible. You know, it's one of the main things we hire off of is just making sure, hey, can can we have a conversation with this person? Can they talk to a customer of ours and not talk down to them? Do they not have humility? Do they not walk in love? You know, because those are some of our core values that we really abide by. Is just we don't want to make people feel like they're less than, right? We want to make them feel that and know that we're friendly and accessible. When they call us, they know it's not this feeling of like, oh man, I got to talk to the IT guy again. Last time I kind of talked to him, he was kind of a jerk. But we're not like that. We want you to be excited to pick up the phone and be like, hey, man, I have this problem, but man, I get to talk to Charlie or Chris or Ryan or Duke or one of the other techs we have here, and just because they care about you. We're also your complete IT solution. So we're talking about cloud today. Also, if you go to MIPCon, this webinar will be very much like one of the sessions we're doing there. We also are going to do a session on cybersecurity. So that just goes with showing that we are your complete IT solution, right? When you think about vertical IT solutions, we're not just a cloud provider, we're not just a VoIP provider, and we're not just a managed IT company. We kind of do it all, and why we do that is because it helps us take a proactive, holistic approach to your IT, right? If you want to just use us as a cloud provider, that's okay. But we do work with a lot of companies that we host in many other facets. The other differentiator for us is we own our own cloud infrastructure. So what does that mean, right? We own our own cloud infrastructure. And why is that a big deal? Most people would think, hey, okay, like, so what is even a cloud infrastructure? Well, the cloud that we are selling is 100% owned and managed by us. We're not reselling one of the big name brands. So we're not reselling Amazon or Microsoft or IBM or someone like that, right? Um, we are selling us. We are selling our vertical cloud. And actually, this picture right here is down the back hallway of the data center we're in, right? So these are the racks where our servers are hosted, and this is just kind of like the back area of it. So we have physical access to our servers, right? We purchase them. When another IT company or another cloud provider is selling you cloud services, a lot of times what they're doing is they're reselling, and they don't have control. If there's an outage, if Amazon has an outage or Microsoft has an outage, hey, sorry, they had an outage. Um, if there's for some reason an outage for us, uh, that's a big deal, right? And we can go there and take care of it. We have two data center locations, one here in LA. We're not in LA, but we're pretty close to LA, but here in LA, and then also one in Denver. So that makes us geo redundant. So if one site goes down, the other one comes up, right? So that's a big deal in the case of sometimes your data is in multiple locations. Sometimes you don't know where your data is when you're hosted with Amazon or or Microsoft. So uh, I know for some state agencies or semi-government funded agencies or some nonprofits, I mean, even some of the ones that we work with, some of the ones specifically in like Texas, they can't have their data hosted outside of the US. And that's a big problem with Amazon because if you don't know that at first, they just put your data wherever they want. So sometimes, they have data centers in China and they have data centers all over outside of the US because it's just cheaper for them resource wise. And you have to pay extra to make sure that it's actually in a data center in your region. For us, we're just in the US. We figure out, hey, geographically, are you closer to LA? Are you closer to Denver? And we put you in that data center. And then if something happens in Denver, it comes up in LA. So, um, we really care about all of our data here. We actually work out of it too. So that's even bigger. A lot of times when a cloud provider is reselling you another service, their information isn't actually in that data with that. It might just be parsed out in a separate sector or something. But with us, this shot right here in some of these racks, our information is on there too. We're hosting applications for us and hosting, um, our Active Directories and different things like that. So that's a little bit about why it's kind of a big deal that we own our cloud infrastructure. So let's talk about why we're here. Like I said, we're here to talk about our cloud offering, right? So with our cloud offering, we're not selling MIP cloud. So this isn't a MIP cloud presentation, right? We are an alternative to MIP cloud. But the thing with that, we are selling a cloud solution for your on-premise MIP environment. MIP cloud, as you know, is not that. But we are here doing that because many years ago, some of you may have been involved with this just because you've been a customer of NP Solutions for a while. But MIP had a separate cloud provider, right, for their single tenant environments. NP Solutions was the reseller of MIP, and they sold their customers that single tenant environment through MIP, and that provider had a big outage, right? They got hacked, actually, is what happened. Their data, all the data got, taken by a hacker, and they couldn't get it back up because they weren't geo-redundant. They didn't have backups how they should. Their backups got, corrupted and things like that. And we have stops in place to where those things won't happen. We host it in multiple locations for that reason too. So when that happened, with that other provider, NP Solutions reached out to us and said, "Hey, we have an emergency. We have customers that are down. Some customers down for, a week. Some customers down for months, with no upside of looking at, hey, when are we going to be back up?" Part of that is because they didn't really have control of their data. So we got in contact. We got hooked up with NP Solutions. We're able to help a lot of their customers and kind of save the day. So that's why NP Solutions has decided to partner with us as being their preferred cloud hosting provider. So that's why we're here. So now let's talk about MIP Cloud, right? Like I said, we're not selling MIP Cloud. We're selling a hosted environment for your on-premise MIP installation. So what we've heard with MIP Cloud and seen with many customers of ours that have moved over to us, is they like the modern interface, right? I mean, I think that's kind of a selling point for them is they have this pretty modern interface. But the problem with that is if you're used to having MIP on your local server in your office, you might have secondary applications, right? You might have an old version of Sage, or you might have an old version of QuickBooks even, or some proprietary software that you guys use. Maybe you had a custom ERP or CRM built or something like that, and you're using that. Well, if you're in MIP Cloud, you can't have those things, right? Because they don't take custom integrations. We've seen that there's security gaps and limited control over your own environment. I mean, so you don't have the control to add the things that you want. You don't have the access to backups or the ability to restore data independently. From what I've seen, there's no integrations or flexibility. You have to go through MIP for that to figure out, hey, well, do you have this integration? You know, you might have to pay for that integration to get it involved, but you can't install custom apps because you're just in this one size fits all environment. So if you need your installation of QuickBooks or Sage, you got to host that on your server yourself. It's not really mobile friendly. So support times is slow, and it's very poor response times, right? You don't have control over the updates. And I know that one right there has been a pretty big deal in the past for our customers, is like, hey, you have whatever integration, whatever that is, it's Vicroy, EWS, you know, payroll teammate or something like that. Well, hey, MIP's ready to update, but EWS, Microy, those things, they haven't come out with their update to reach the next level, and MIP just updates. So now you have broken integrations. You can't use your time clocks. You can't use your payroll. Different things like that. So that's some of the things we've heard about MIP Cloud. If there's anything else we missed, any challenges that you guys have maybe seen when thinking about, hey, should I stay on premise? Should I go with a private cloud provider like Vertical, or should I go to MIP Cloud? Is there anything else that you guys are experiencing like that? If you do, just let us know in the Q&A. We can talk about that a little bit later too. So let's talk about what the difference with us is, right? So what do you get? You know, you get full access to your backups at any time you need them. So actually, when we go through our onboarding process, right, we give you a web portal to your backups. In your backups from there, we take incremental backups. So as you update things, it backs up, and then we take a nightly image-based backup, or we can even do that hourly. It's really up to you. We kind of set that with you in the discovery process, and then also in our onboarding process, we set that up with you. But what that means is you could take that backup and say, for some reason, hey, your contract's up with us, or you're in that probationary period and you don't want to work with us. You figured out, hey, I don't want to do this. You can take that image-based backup and put it wherever you want. I know with a lot of providers, it's not really that case, but you know, we give you the freedom because it's your data. You know, you decide when backups happen, or sorry, not backups. You decide when updates happen. We don't just update it for you, because we know that we can't blindly update things. We have to know for certain that that things can be updated so integrations don't break. Because when integrations break, that's downtime. You know, that's loss. That could be loss of data even for some people. So we never push them out. We ask for consent, and realistically, what we ask you to do is we ask you to either call one of your support techs or submit a support ticket, and we schedule that out for you. We integrate with third-party apps and tools. You know, we don't require any approvals from MIP to say, hey, can I put this in this environment? No, they don't have any control over it. All MIP has is, you know, is MIP and different things like that. So if you have an old installation of Sage or QuickBooks or some other custom thing, we can install that in our environment and you can work out of it. So really, you're able to take that old dying server that you have in your office. Maybe you're looking at it, oh, it's been 7 years. I need to upgrade this thing. Oh, our storage is filling up. Oh, we hired 5 more people and we don't have enough resources. And oh, man, how much is that going to cost? Yeah, we can scale with it, and we can integrate whatever you need. So you can work out of it. You can get rid of that old server. You know, we have a FedRAMP certified infrastructure, so you know that's pretty important for nonprofits and also just government-funded agencies. You have mobile access wherever you need it, so you can get it on your phone right here, right? You could take your phone and you could remote into it. You could go through it through a web browser if you want. You can do it on a laptop, a tablet, desktop computer, a Mac, anything like that, right? We have direct responsive support from our team, right? So also with that, our team isn't out of the U.S. Our team is here in the U.S. You know, they're here in our Chino office in California, our Sacramento office in California. We have employees in Utah. We have employees in Arizona. We have one in Texas. So, you know, you're going to get a hold of someone that is here in the U.S. And also they're pretty responsive. We have service level agreements that we have in place for all of our tickets. And our goal internally is that we do not ever let it get to what that service level agreement is. We try to handle it within, the first 30 minutes of just getting a response out. And hey, let's get a response out. Let's talk to the customer. Let's see what's going on, and let's get working on this, right? And once again, it's your data, so you can treat it that way, right? You own it. It's yours. So that's, these are some of the biggest differences with us with vertical cloud. So with all that, we're going to see a live demo. We actually had Charlie here record a live demo, just kind of how you access the environment. So it's just a little snippet of what it looks like for you to get into it, and just to kind of see how easy it is and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to take a look at that here right now.
Hey there, I'm Charlie, and I'm part of the support team here at Vertical IT Solutions. Today, I want to give you a quick look at how our vertical cloud works and why so many businesses are moving away from the big name cloud providers. Here at Vertical, we've built our own cloud infrastructure with data centers in Los Angeles and Denver, which means we manage our own equipment, security, and support so you don't have to, meaning you can get the flexibility, speed, and reliability of the cloud, but with a team that actually knows you and answers when you call. Let me show you just how easy it is to get started. All you need is a web browser. You type in the link, you log in, and you're in. It's that simple, whether you're on a desktop, a laptop, or even your phone. Let me log in for you. Here's our URL. I'm going to log in, and our logins are protected with two-factor authentication using Duo. So I'll just have to type in my password here, and then I'll get prompted on my cell phone.
So one thing I want to point out, I just paused the video. As you saw, Charlie just clicked a link that he had saved in his browser. So, a browser, you can access that browser from anywhere, right? So I'll let Charlie get back to it.
Like that. And I'm in. From here, we publish your users' apps that they need. Right now, we have published Access, Excel, MIP fund accounting, all sorts of applications, and there really is no limit or to which applications you can publish here. You can customize this with your company's logo and your company's name, and this is where your users will come to download whatever apps that they need. Right now, I'll show you how easy it is for them to connect. I have MIP fund accounting right here. Just like I would open on my desktop, it's opening from the cloud. I have Excel, I have QuickBooks, and I have a shared folder. So there's no problem sharing data like you would if you had an on-prem server. You can do the same with the vertical cloud, and everybody has access to what they need. Let me go ahead and close these out. We know that with many cloud providers, your data access is limited. You're often locked into what they allow. With the vertical cloud, you get full access to your data. You can run your reports, you can export information, or connect it to whatever tools you need with no restrictions. And for backups, we know that other cloud providers, they don't always give you control over your backups. So you're having to wait on them for a solution when you need to get your team back up and running. At Vertical, we don't put restrictions on your backups. You can run your database backups every single day if you'd like, which makes it for quick, easy restores. On top of that, our team backs up the entire server every day, and we have redundant encrypted backups in LA and Denver. So even if you were subject to a ransomware attack or a natural disaster, we have a copy of your backup safe and secure for you to get back up and running. With applications, there really is no limit to what applications that we install and publish for your users. There's no pay per app kind of thing like there is with other cloud providers. As many applications as you need, whichever applications you need, we will work with you. You work with our team to get it done. And that's one of the biggest frustrations with large cloud providers is their support. There's long waits, there's slow fixes, and there's outsourced call centers. Here at Vertical, you get real people like me. And most of our tickets are answered in under 4 hours, and we have 24/7 emergency coverage. So if you need us in the middle of the night, you call us. I'll probably be the one that answers it and talks to you and helps you get back up and running. Um, yeah, so for security, we designed the vertical cloud to be ransomware ready by default with our daily backups and isolated environments, our redundant data centers. You don't have to worry about that kind of thing. We're the ones that take care of all of that so that you can just get back to work. And access shouldn't be limited to just your office. With the vertical cloud, you can log in from any device, desktop, laptop, tablet, phone. If you have internet and a browser, you can get to your apps. And that's it. So to recap, the vertical cloud gives you full data access, backups and restores that you control. You have unlimited integrations and apps, automatic updates, and ransomware ready security. We give you fast local support, and you can access from any device. This is cloud hosting that actually works for your business. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see what vertical cloud can do for your company, let's get started.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, like Charlie said, so he in there he said, we're 4 hours support time, right? So that's what I'm talking about when I talk about our SLAs or service level agreements. So that's our standard service level agreement, is just to say, hey, we need to get this done within, resolved or answered within 4 hours. But like I said, our internal process here, I don't want anything to go longer than 30 minutes without someone talking to you. It's of the utmost importance that you guys are working and running. So we have our standard level agreements that are in our contracts. You can see them. You can escalate them to a higher tier, meaning you could say, hey, this is critical, this is urgent, or this is this is red, it's on fire, I need this done now. And you can escalate our SLAs very easily just by telling one of our technicians, or even just saying it in the email, like, hey, this is critical level. It needs to be escalated to that. We'll escalate it right away and get on it. Um, yeah, so hopefully that kind of just shows uh, how easy it is to access the environment, as well as, hey, look, you can add kind of any apps you want on there, and you can do what you need inside of it. So now we're going to go into some frequently asked questions that we've gotten from customers or from just people just inquiring about what we're doing. Once again, just as a reminder, if you just joined, I saw a couple more people joined throughout in the middle of this. Please, in the QA section, add your name and email so we can send you a $50 Amazon gift card for joining us. Also, if there's a question, I'll ask here at the end too, but if there's a question that I didn't hit here that really you kind of need answered, add that in the QA section, and when I'm done with these, I'll try to hit those as well. So one of the big ones, right, is how long does the transition take? Right here, you probably already read this because the screen's been up here, but typically 2 to 4 weeks. But we can make that faster if you need it. That just gives our implementation team a buffer time and the ability to gather information. We've seen it typically takes with a lot of agencies or companies, it takes about 2 to 4 weeks to kind of gather everything and get things going. We can do it faster. It really just depends on you, right? I mean, sometimes things get delayed because you're in the middle of a busy season, and hey, great, we know we want to sign up for this. We have to get the funding approved, so we're going to sign up now, but we really can't implement for 2 months. And that's okay. We work with everyone like that too. But I say that just to show like it's really your timeline, and that's what we figure out, right? In our process, we're a white glove service. We do it all for you. It's not, hey, here you go, you can get in now, integrate the things yourself, move your data yourself. Um, what we do is we have a consultation, right, and planning meeting. So you'll do that with one of our sales executives over here. Um, and then from there, we figure out, okay, hey, what do they need? We put together a proposal for you. We have a proposal and a approval meeting. Once you approve that solution that we've built for you, we get into the onboarding, right? So you schedule an onboarding call right after approving your solution in the next couple days, right? It could even be that next day. It depends on what works for your schedule. And from there, you talk with one of our onboarding team members, and they really go over, okay, hey, what's the timeline you guys need? They also give you all the information that we need from you. So, your users, here's an encrypted location to upload your data. So whatever that may be, your license keys for MIP, your licenses for whatever integrations you have, different things like that. So then after we do that onboarding call, we start implementing, right? We start building the solution on our side. And then during the onboarding call, you would also schedule a testing and verification date. So we don't schedule a cutover date right away. Because we've seen in the past with other companies and other providers, when you just schedule that cutover date, there might be some things that need to be validated. So we schedule a testing phase where let's get you in. Let's have you test from the data you gave us and see, hey, maybe that's one or two people just assuring that, hey, okay, these things work. Oh, I can hit time. I can do the time cards. I can make sure payroll works. I can do whatever else it is. Um, and from there, once you verify with us that everything works, we schedule your cutover. That cutover could be the very next day. We could pre-schedule that cutover and say, hey, Mr. Customer, if everything goes great during that testing phase, do you want to schedule the cutover for the next day? And if you say yes, okay, great, you let us know it works. We ask you to at 3 p.m. your local time to just send us over the newest date version of your data, and then have everyone out of MIP, right? Everyone out of MIP, not making any changes from there. We can also push that back a little bit later if you need it to be more like 5 p.m. your time, so when you guys are closing. Um, but we do that so then you can come in that next day. So if it's a Thursday, we're going to work on it that Thursday night and get you up that next Friday morning. Typically, we schedule about a Friday, and then on the Monday, it's hey, Monday at this time, get in. But once again, that's kind of up to you guys and how what works for you. But we do that for minimal downtime. So let's go over here to the next question. So what does pricing look like? So yeah, we're not a cookie cutter solution. We're not just a one size fits all company. So I can't really tell you that, hey, it's going to be $50 a user, $100 a user, it's something like that, right? $200 a user, I don't know. Or your environment's going to be $500 a month, or something like that. We really tailor our solutions to you. So we're not like selling you anything you don't need. I know with a lot of other providers, they're just going to give you, hey, this is package A, this is package B, this is package C. Where do you fit? Well, I don't really fit in any of those, but I guess, we're really in between B and C. So we'll have to go with C because it has more storage or something like that. So we build the solution to you. We see how many people need to be in the environment. We see how much RAM you need, how much CPU you need, how much storage you need, what applications you're going to be adding into the environment. So we make sure that your environment runs properly. We have transparent pricing. So there's no surprise fees or unpredictable bills. With that, when we build your solution and you agree to it, you're going to get a proposal. And in that proposal, after we'll send you a DocuSign, so you'll sign the DocuSign, and it'll have your monthly price in there, right? And it'll have in there a part broken down to show you this is what you're paying for. You're paying for this many users in the environment, so this many concurrent users, maybe this many people, light users, because those people don't need full access. They just need to kind of get in every once in a while. And then you're paying for, what storage utilizations you're using. So you'll see that all there. There's no fluctuations. One thing I've seen a lot, even last week, I was looking at an Amazon quote for another customer, and Amazon does these things that are called burst rates, right? So if you use a certain amount of uh, resources one month, your price goes up. If you don't, it goes down. So this customer in particular, it was a very large environment. They were 1 month it was $19,000, next month it was $20,000, and then the month after that it was 18. So it's very hard from in an accounting perspective, even just a business perspective, to be like, hey, so what's our cost going to be? Where are we going to be at? So we don't do that. We give you what you need, we build it for you, and as things progress, as you grow, we grow with you. So if you need more storage or you need to add a user, you're going to know that before just seeing it on the bill, right? You're going to probably reach out to us, or one of our technicians is going to say, hey, your storage is filling up. Can we do some data cleaning here and see if there's anything to be removed? If there can't be, then hey, okay, well, we need to increase your storage about 100 gigabytes or 200 gigabytes. That's going to cost about X per month. Um, so, so you just know, you're not having to guess and wonder. This next question. So, how secure is your data compared to a large company like AWS? So yeah, our security is built to meet or exceed the biggest providers without the trade-off. So yeah, you own your data. So how can we be compared? We let you know that you own your data. It's always yours. It's never held hostage. You have access to your backups. It's fully encrypted and redundant. So what does that mean? Your data encryption. I mean, a lot of you have probably dealt with it, right? Basically, it scrambles it all up, or it makes it a language that can't be read by anyone unless you have the key. So if you have that key, I think about in grade school when you're looking at a thing and you have to put this little magnifying glass over it, and you can't read it until you put that thing over it, right? So it's kind of like that. That's what encryption is. Um, and then redundant data. So what does that mean? It means just we have multiple sites. Your data is not just sitting in one site. So that's if the site goes down, it's over here still. So it's always there. You can also, with that, you can have a physical copy of your data too that we could back up to. Say you wanted to keep that old server that old server is just like a really cold storage failover backup solution. We can have your data go be in our data center, so in our cloud solution, right? And then we can also have it go to your server as well. So then it's actually in 3 points. So then you really don't have, you don't have 2 points, you have 3 points. So then it's kind of all over the place. And a privacy guarantee, right? So large companies like AWS or Microsoft, they're going to sell your data. A lot of times you in the fine print it says you're agreeing to this. I mean, I know when I sign up for apps or things like that, a lot of times you don't even read it, and a lot of times they're just giving your data away. We don't do that. We don't ever sell it. Like I said, it's yours. um, it's yours. You own it. We don't own it. That's why we give you full access to it at all times. You have the ability to take it whenever you want and get rid of it however you need. We're not gonna do that for you. We're not gonna do that to you by selling it or anything like that. So what's the contingency plan? Yeah, so you always have access to your data. We're geo-redundant. We have geo-redundant facilities. So your data is stored in multiple locations. Like I've said a couple times here, LA and Denver, right? In those locations, so we're in what they like to call like a carrier hotel, right? So it's a big giant data center where multiple people are hosted, right? I mean, so you saw that picture of the backside of those racks, right? Well, that area is called a pod, and to the left of us, outside of the frame, Amazon or not Amazon, sorry, Verizon has a giant pod of their own that all their stuff's in, right? So we're in a big data center that if Verizon's in there, like there has to be some sort of security going on there, right? So with that, in those multiple locations, to even get in there, you have to do biometric scanning. You have to have fingerprint scanning. You have to have a badge. You have to have access in those ways. But at those data centers, there's giant, generators that could run that for weeks. There's for power. We have redundant internet pathways, so it's not just if one provider goes down, then oh well, there's no internet to the servers. No, we have multiple internet pathways. So just in case, sometimes things happen. You might an internet line might get cut, because they're drilling in the ground outside. But we have multiple for that reason. So we have fully encrypted and redundant backups, like we talked about, kind of stored in both locations. We do incremental and image-based backups. I hit on this a little bit earlier, but the incremental backup, that's just like, hey, as you As you save a file, it gets backed up. And then image-based is just, it's taking a picture or a snapshot of your whole environment there. And from there, it's saving it either nightly, hourly, kind of as you want. And then zero vendor lock-in, you can take your backups, you can take your data at any time. Go to this next one. So why trust you over the big name providers? Yeah. So we deliver what big, larger companies can't. Like I've talked about a lot of times, we own our own cloud infrastructure. So there's no middleman. We have more control, and we have faster problem solving. So with that, like I said before, when a lot of times someone's selling one of those big name providers, their hands are tied. Amazon has an outage, like I said before. I'm sorry, Mr. Customer, we can't do anything about. We're on the phone with support. No, uh, if something if something catastrophic like that is down, I will be in the data center, trying to figure out what's going on. The president of our company will be in the data center trying to figure out what's going on. And I don't know what other company you're going to have that happen. If there's an emergency, it goes all the way up to me and the president. So um, you have direct support. Yeah, so right here, if something's wrong, we're alerted. We have skin in the game. Once, like we talked about, we run our business off of this infrastructure, right? We run our business out of this cloud infrastructure. Um, yeah, we're secure and compliant. So uh, you know exactly where your data is. It's kept at all times, and it's always fully protected, right? We have cost transparency, where a lot of people don't. Like I was talking about with that Amazon bill, I was looking at it trying to figure out, hey, what's going on here? How do I price this? What's going on? Like, what are the resources? And I've been doing this for 12 years. I've been in the industry for 12 years, and I'm looking at it and I'm going, wow, I don't really, what are these things they're trying to sell them, right? I mean, what is that for? What do they need that for? Um, so it's really confusing. We try to make it as simple as possible for you, and give you predictable pricing without hidden usage fees and just the ability to know what you're paying for. And we have US based support. So a lot of times, like I said, once again, you have a IT provider that's reselling you something or a cloud provider that's reselling you something. Sure, you might be able to call their support, but once again, if their hands are tied, they're just going to get on support, or you're going to have to get on support with someone outside of the US. And that doesn't happen with us. So yeah, bigger doesn't always mean better. With us, you get what matters most. Transparent cost, responsive support, customized solutions, and full access to your data. All right, so here's some things just that we've seen some people say about us. If you'd like to see some more reviews about us, you can either email us or email us at info@verticalits.com, or put it in the Q&A section. Just say, hey, I would like to see some more reviews from your customers, and we can send you some of our reviews. If you'd like, you could look us up on Clutch. Clutch, if you guys don't know, is a technology review site. It's actually pretty cool because they do more of a use case on there, and see like, hey, what solution was actually there, instead of just someone writing in, yeah, they were great. They great support, great pricing, things like that. They actually break it down pretty extensively, so you can read, hey, well, what was the project they did? What was the timeline? Did they hit that? Did they hit the budget? All those types of things. Yeah, so now I'm going to look at these to see if there's any questions here in the Q&A section. But before I do that, if what we talked about here today interests you at all, if you just want to get some more information, maybe there's something I didn't hit in there that you were really curious about and you didn't want to ask in the Q&A section here, schedule a consultation with us, and we'll give you another $50 Amazon gift card. If you schedule that today, just comment quote in the chat, and with your email, we will get one of our account executives to reach out to you and schedule that. And as long as you put that in the chat with your email, we'll send you another $50 gift card. So let me see here if there are any questions. Yeah, so one person asked, how secure is your cloud environment? Yeah, I kind of answered that, but I can answer it again. Yeah, we're really secure. I mean, like I said, to get into the cloud environment itself, uh, you have to have a badge to badge in. First off, you'd have to, if you wanted to get a badge to badge in, if let's say someone stole my backpack, right, and it had my badge in it, you could steal my backpack. You'd have to figure out where that data center was in LA or Denver. You could scan and get into a little room that has bulletproof glass all around it, to where then you have to put your fingerprint in. So then once they tried to put their fingerprint in, they couldn't. But I don't know, let's say somehow they stole my fingerprint. They got in that way. Now you have to figure out what floor to go to get to the racks, to get to our servers or our cloud infrastructure, right? Then if you figured out the floor somehow, you have to figure out which room it was in. Then all those rooms are locked themselves. The server cages are locked themselves. So it's pretty secure, just at the physical layer, right? Um, at the server level, yeah, we have redundant backups ourselves. We take backups. We actually host. We hold our backups. We have it on a different servers in LA. We have it on in Denver, and then we have 2 locations here in Chino, where we hold some of the backups too, just for more cold storage there. So someone else asked, is there an option if we already are in a hosted environment with another company and want to change? Yeah, um, definitely. I mean, so if you're already in a hosted environment like ours and you want to change, of course, we just would want to meet with you and figure out why you want to move from them, and also, hey, what is it going to take? Are you in a contract or anything like that? Um, yeah. So hopefully that answers that. Yeah, there is an option. I mean, the option is just we can switch you over. We would work if you wanted to move forward with us after we did our presentation meeting and gave you your solution. What we would do is we'd probably want to be in contact with your old cloud provider, just to make the process as smooth as possible. Also, sorry, before I go on, if anyone needs to leave, I know it's 9:47. We have here a little bit more, but if you need to leave and you just want to make sure that you get your Amazon gift card from the first time, make sure you put your name and email in the chat, and we'll send that to you. But yeah, back to the changing thing. Yeah, you can change to us at any time as long as you're not locked in your contract. Um, that would probably be the only thing, is just making sure of that. If it was the other way around, you wanted to switch from us to another hosted provider, yeah, we just would want to be in contact with that company. So this person asked, what if our internal server if our internal server, I think maybe they meant to say internet is down, would our MIP still function effectively with vertical cloud? So if your internal server was down, yes, it does not matter, because if you are hosting with vertical cloud, what happens there is it doesn't matter. You could get rid of your internal server. So if you're hosting with us, if you want to move everything that's on that server over to us, so like Active Directory, maybe, right? It might be your Active Directory server, it might be your file server, it might be a special application server. We can host all of that in our data center, right? In our cloud solution, and then just connect you through a VPN, or you can remote into it and work out of it as like a remote desktop working environment, right? Through RD gateway and things like that. So it's a lot more secure than regular remote desktop. So if your internal server was down, so say you kept that server for whatever reason, yeah, you'd still be able to access everything. If your internet was down at your location, you would just need to have internet somewhere else, and then you could access access our cloud environment. So it, yeah, it doesn't matter if your internet's down at that point because I mean, it does for access for you, but you could go to Starbucks or you could take out your phone and get your hotspot to your computer. Or a lot of times, people have backup internet circuits. You could fail over to that backup internet circuit and get onto the cloud. The only time you would not be able to access your MIP with vertical cloud is probably in a very catastrophic event, right? Because with us being hosted geo redundantly, so LA, Denver, if LA goes down, so God forbid LA got hit with a bomb, your data's over here in Denver. I think we have a lot bigger problems if that happens, but a pretty extreme example to show that like if this went down, so let's say less extreme, all the redundant internet pathways that we have, right? So multiple internet service providers that we pay for that comes into our cloud environment. Those all went down in our region, right? You'd come up in LA. So yeah, sorry if that's a little bit of a tangent, but in a roundabout way to answer. If your internal servers are down or your internal internet is down, you could still access and function effectively with vertical cloud. Like I said, if your internet was down, you just need to make sure you have an internet connection. But that's all. Hey, do you have an internet connection? And then do you have a computer or a laptop that is able to access the internet so you can get on? But that that looks like the end of the questions there. So um, I'll give here another minute or so to see if anyone else has any last minute questions. And while I do that, once again, I'll just remind everyone, if you'd like your Amazon gift card for $50, just add your email and your name in here. And then if you would like to have a quote, or even if you don't want a quote and you just want to have a consultation, let's say that, right? Just to kind of get some more clarity on those things. Um, you can type quote or consultation in the Q&A section. And I know this isn't on here, but if you even just want a consultation, we'll give you another $50 gift card just for having a conversation with us, just to kind of talk through some more things. Um, so yeah, so we'll give you that option as well. Let me see here. We'll give just another minute here to see if anyone else has any more questions. So at 9:54 we'll break and give you 5 more minutes back in your day than being in here for a full hour. Um, let's see. All right. Well, it doesn't look like there's any more questions here. So, hey guys, thanks. Thank you all for joining today. Hopefully this was informative for you. Hopefully it answered some of your questions. And if you have more and you're going to MIPCon, come by the booth. We're going to be giving out some pretty awesome stuff, prizes, things like that. We're going to be giving things for going to our panels. So if one of them is going to be just like this, the other one's going to be on cybersecurity. So if you have questions and you want to talk in person, make sure to see us there. We'll have a booth and a bunch of stuff. So thanks once again for joining. And if you need anything, if there's anything we can help you guys with that we couldn't answer today, just email us at info@verticalits.com. Have a good day.